In Blount County, this is Mike Edwards, and it's time for the Sports Page Spotlight, brought to you by CPR Cell Phone Repair.
CPR Cell Phone Repair is owned and operated by Blount County's Dwayne Holloway and is located at 276 Gill Street in Alcoa. The staff at CPR Cell Phone Repair, first and foremost, are problem solvers. When you come to CPR with any electronic device issue, they have certified electronic technicians who have the technical aptitude and experience to repair it. Beyond smartphones, they specialize in computers, laptops, data recovery, game consoles, flat-screen TVs, and much more. CPR Cell Phone Repair is committed to serving our local community with discounts for our men and women in uniform and our school systems. CPR Cell Phone Repair, 276 Gill Street in Alcoa, and online at CPR Cell Phone Repair, Alcoa. CPR Cell Phone Repair. We save your mobile life.
And now the spotlight is on the Daytona 500 as Dr. Otto Slater joins us. Doc, good morning to you.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Great to be here as always. Being here with the Wallen basketball team. Boy, I feel like a celebrity. They're kind of a big deal. What a story that is.
Down in your neighborhood.
Yes, I go to church at Wallen United Methodist Church right next to the Wallen School. They're great people over there.
Hey, last Sunday the Daytona 500 was set to run, but weather altered the plans, so the Great American Race was held on Monday. Denny Hamlin took the checkered flag, but the race was marred by a serious accident involving Ryan Newman on the last lap that left the veteran driver in serious condition in a local Daytona hospital. He was later released without any further complications. But serious accident, Dr. Slater, left a lot of people in limbo for a couple hours at least.
It sure did. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin. It's his third Daytona 500. He's in a rare company there, and he's a wizard at the super speedways. Just really got a knack for it. So congratulations to him and to Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs, one of the true good guys in racing. He had lost his son recently to battle with chronic illness, and my hat's off to him and his team. I was really glad to see Ryan Newman walk out of the hospital the night of the accident. I was calling around to Purdue alums. He's a fellow Purdue alumnus as myself. People who knew him, medical professionals in the area, to get any information that was corroborated, and could get none. I'm very disappointed in NASCAR for a lot of reasons, but particularly their lack of. There were a lot of fans who went to bed that night without any knowledge of his condition, and that led to rumors and a lot of bad feelings flying around. I just don't think that was very responsible. The only thing that was corroborated was that they had cleared the pits of the press, and they had put up the black curtains to shield the view of the extrication of Newman from the car. Those were ominous signs. To not give a report of his condition, to me, was irresponsible.
The only report that I got, I was like you. I was all over Twitter trying to find out any information I could get, and I did find a Twitter account from a crew member of Penske's crew that had done an interview with the local TV stations that said that they saw Ryan Newman and he was awake and alert. That's the only report I got. And then the other thing that I heard was that he was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. And you and I know that if someone is in critical condition, they're normally airlifted to a hospital for treatment. So in that regard, I felt like, hey, this may have a better ending than that it's appearing.
I think NASCAR fans are super, but they deserve better treatment than that, truthfully. And the other thing about my concern with the race was they're setting themselves up more for a spectacle than and for an accident. It's almost like the casual observer, it's that they want an accident like that. The green-white checker has got to go. It's unsafe. I think the race should end at 200 laps, and if it ends in the caution, so be it. I'll bend a little bit. Let's go to 202. Green-white checker for 202 laps. But they set the record for the most laps at Daytona. They're asking for an incident like they had, and they're lucky that Newman wasn't killed. This is the third time Newman has been airborne, twice at Daytona and once at Talladega. In fact, he was fined by NASCAR a couple years ago because he felt like the fans shouldn't go to the race because it was dangerous, and NASCAR fined him. So it has a tragic irony that he was airborne again at Daytona.
The problem is on those two super speedways, Talladega and Daytona, there is the way they have it set up. There's no place for cars to go. I mean, they follow each other around there bumper to bumper for 200 laps, and there's no passing. There's a little bit of passing at the front, so to speak, but not much. They're all grouped together, and it looks to me like and people are going to the racetrack. I don't think that NASCAR fans actually want to see anybody get hurt, but I think that they expect at Talladega and Daytona they don't get their fix unless they see a big one. They want to see the big one. And NASCAR, I think, I'm like you. I think they're on borrowed time, and they've dodged some bullets, and they dodged one last Monday in Ryan Newman with this type of race. There's no separation. There's no place to go. And Ryan Newman came down. You know, in IndyCar, you can't block. You know, and he blocked Blaney. He blocked Blaney down there trying to win the race, and
he should have. It was a good move, and
that's allowed. Not allowed in IndyCar. Now you'll lose a position in IndyCar for that.
Blaney and he clearly locked bumpers. They came not at the correct angle. There was a little angle to it, and they went out. But honestly, Newman, I'm sure, would admit that he blocked him. Right. He's supposed to, and I don't find any fault with the drivers nor the fans. In fact, it was a great racing week at Daytona up to that point. NASCAR fans are fantastic, and I'll tell you something about the NASCAR field. This is one of the most talented fields in NASCAR I've seen in my lifetime. They've got great young drivers. They've got great veterans. Heck, Kyle Busch raced at the 24 Hours of Daytona with some of the world's premier drivers and loved it. NASCAR has had a fantastic field at Daytona. They got great crews, they got great sponsors, they got great fans, and they got great drivers. Their administration is creating a spectacle and not a true racing event, in my opinion.
Well, it looks to me like the cars and everything are set up to where it's taken everything away from the pit crew and the driver. It just looks like it's just everything. Everybody's just set up, and they follow everybody around there, and then everybody gets on their edge of the seat for the last 4 or 5 laps because they know that everybody's going to jockey, and when you jockey and no place to go, you're going to have exactly what happened there last Monday. And they had the accident before that.
Oh yes,
that last accident wasn't only one. They had another major accident that stopped the race, and then
that's correct. And I agree with you that while most NASCAR fans do not want to see, they want to see an incident-free race. I do. Most do. Some do want to see the occasional crash or smash. Don't worry, you'll get plenty of opportunity to see it in any super speedway race. That's why I say you don't have to extend the race indefinitely to allow this sort of mayhem after 200 laps. Finish it on a caution and let the drivers adjust, or at least set it to 2 laps max. But an unlimited green-right checker is asking for trouble. The other thing is they take 2 steps forward in safety and then 1 step back. For example, they're getting the aerodynamic flaps on the hood and in the back of the car to take the air out of the car so it doesn't lift. Well, that's great, but now with the carbon fiber chassis, in several of the prelim race, the hoods were flying off and the flaps were flying off. Now, how can you tell me that is safe? Yes, the car's not going to fly out of the track, but what about the carbon fiber panels? Those are sharp. That's a safety issue in and of itself. Yeah. They've really got to tighten it up on the super speedways in
One thing that
NASCAR.
was real fortunate was the fact that car, Newman's, did not get in the catch fence. He could have got up into that catch fence, and at that speed he was going, could have tore that catch fence off to pieces. And then you've got injuries to fans up there on that corner.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And that would have been a lot more unsafe for Ryan. I will say this: the fact that he walked out of the hospital a few days later with his daughters was very heartwarming and a tribute to that crew preparing that car for safety. I don't know how that car didn't explode. He had a brake rotor fire when he finally settled, and fuel was pouring out of the fuel cell. It was fortunate that the car was positioned that fuel was going downhill away from the fire, but even then you thought it would ignite because it was only about 1.5 feet away. That's the other thing. In this country, we have the greatest paramedics, emergency services personnel, and anywhere in the world. I feel like they need better equipment for safety and particularly fire management at NASCAR. I was very disappointed with the conduction of the race administratively, not by the drivers nor the fans. I will say this. The one negative thing about some of the fans, they criticized Denny Hamlin for doing donuts and celebrating his victory. That out of respect for Newman, he shouldn't have done that. He didn't have any idea as to Newman's condition, nor did he have any other idea as to the condition of the other drivers. He didn't have any more
idea in 2 hours than he had at the time when he won the race.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. You and I are in the know, and we didn't know till even well into the next day as to his condition.
Hey, they've made great strides in racing. You know, the soft walls, driver seats, Hans device, driver suits, structures of the cars. But Chris Economaki, I was in
what a legendary guy.
I was in Indianapolis one year, and I was sitting there and across from him eating lunch, and he says, I'm going to tell you something about racing. He said, they better be careful. If you make it too safe, they'll quit coming. And when I watched that Sunday, I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe that's what NASCAR's thinking. You know, if we make this thing too safe, not the chance of the big one at Talladega or Daytona, will they quit coming to the races? If we have separation, will they quit coming to the races? Look at Indianapolis. Indianapolis's track is not set up for stock cars or NASCAR racing because of the banks. They don't have that. They don't have that pack racing up there. They don't have the passing. They don't have the chance of a big one. What has happened to the crowds at Indianapolis?
Well, and while that's true, and boy, Indianapolis, I rode the two-seater and the one-seater there. In the one-seater, I was governed, I think, to 140 miles an hour, which is a full 100 miles less than what they race in. Not only did I think I was going to hit the wall every turn, I thought I was going to fly out of the stadium. It was the worst experience of my life. Oh, my God. It's unnatural, the G's you pull on that even at lower speeds. So my hat's off to the drivers. They're brave men.
Now, I've had a little AFib. If I get in that car, I'm under control right now. Is there a chance that I could get irregular again? Or are you telling me maybe I ought to just watch? Or?
I don't know. You know, that's funny because watching sports, sometimes I feel I develop an arrhythmia just watching it, let alone participating in it.
Hey, James Hinchcliffe, we've got to get out of here pretty soon, but he's got a ride.
With Andretti,
Yeah, with Andretti. And
How about that?
And 2 other races. So I think that's, 5 drivers for Andretti?
5 drivers for Andretti.
500?
Yeah, I'll tell them that you are looking for a seat. They may pick you up too, Mike. I don't know. I don't know if you'll pass their physical.
I better check that out with my cardiologist before I head up there. Hey, and a couple of other notes. Roger Penske turned 83 years young this past week, and Uncle Bobby Unser, 86 young ones this week to the the 3-time?
Now that makes me feel old. I was at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1972 and watched Mark Donohue win Penske's first race at Indy, and boy, that makes me feel old. We're getting to be geezers.
I got a cousin that got friends that has a motorhome up on the outside the track here on the 4th turn. They park it in the same lot right there outside the turn every year. And the night before the race, the guy's wife works in the ticket office over there at the Speedway. And the night before the race, Bobby Unser in his suspenders, he walks right down Georgetown Road, his blue jeans and his suspender, goes to their trailer and has a beer and parties with them most of the night, and not one person says one thing to him all the way down Georgetown Road to where he sits down and has the festivities there with that group of people every year.
I met Bobby Unser one time, and I asked him about it. I said, why are you wear those suspenders? And he looked at me, and he kind of just cocked his head, and he said, well, to hold my pants up.
All right.
I appreciate your patience with me. I was critical in NASCAR today, so no more Mr. Nice Guy. I was letting him have it.
St. Petersburg coming up in a couple of weeks. Are you heading down there?
No, I'll be watching that on television. Got some family obligations, but enjoy the Daytona week. It was a great race week. I've not seen that much aggressive racing and bump drafting early in the week as this year. I look for a great season, look for a great Indy season. The 24 hours of Daytona was fantastic. MotoGP, Marc Marquez extended his contract. Great racing series. This looks to be set up to be a fantastic racing year.
I'll wave at you. I'm going to St. Petersburg, so I'll wave at you.
All right, brother.
All right. Good to see you, Doc.
You
Thanks
too, guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, timeout has been called. We'll turn the page, and it will be the Jiffy Lube Signature Service Trivia question of the